Welcome, everyone, to another edition of one of my favorite series, even if no one else cares about it, Speyside Backbenchers. Speyside Backbenchers, this series devoted to those distilleries cranking out whiskey in the area of the Scottish Highlands around the River Spey that rarely, if ever, get official bottlings, that basically never ever get hyped up on dram face, but which nevertheless make quite a bit of whiskey and which tend to show up fairly often in the independent bottlers. This is all about just trying those spirits out, those whiskeys out, and seeing, to what extent they deserve to come out of the shadows a little bit. In the past, we have done Speyside Backbenchers of Diageo, because Diageo, let's face it, I think owns the majority of the distilleries in the Speyside, even if not necessarily the largest ones. However, today we are doing Speyside Backbenchers not from Diageo. It's mainly going to be Chivas distilleries today, but I've also got a Dewar's one in here. We have got a Miltonduff, a Dalmunach, which is a new Speyside Backbencher. We have got a Glenburgie, and we have got an Aultmore. Now, some among you may say the Aultmore doesn't really belong here. And that's fair. They actually have an official bottling series. I have two reasons for throwing in here, though, because even though I bought a bottle of the official 12-year-old a couple of years ago and thought it was okay, I don't remember anything else about it. So it feels like spiritually it does belong here. Also, I have this sample, and I'm never going to find another flight where this fits. So it goes right here. All right, let's get these things poured, and we will get started. All right, Miltonduff pour. This is a Càrn Mòr Dalmunach. I've never ever tried a Dalmunach before. I really loved Imperial when I was around, especially once it had some age on it. So I'm willing to give this a try. This is not that old. We'll get to that. And then you have some Signatory 100 proof editions. These are actually the first two they bottled, which is kind of cool. All right, that's everything poured. What do you say we get started? Okay. We are going to begin with this here Miltonduff. This is from the Ultimate. It's a 2009 12-year-old, bottled in, June 22. It's a single barrel first fill bourbon, which is great for Miltonduff. No further information about it aside from natural color, non-chill filtered, and 46%. It's very Ultimate. They tend not to give you a ton of details, and that's fine because they're not charging you a lot of money. All right, let us taste this. Miltonduff, as I recall, it's outside of Elgin. I wrote this down somewhere. No, it's in its own town. It's not in Elgin. It's kind of like southwest in a town called Miltonduff, which makes it easy. Very large distillery contributing to the Chivas blends. And you stick your nose into this, and you can smell the echoes. I don't know if you can smell echoes. That doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. You can smell the echoes of the Chivas blends. This smells a lot like just all the things I like about Chivas 12, kind of put on a pedestal and amplified a little bit. Very cakey, lots of pound cake, apple pie. Also some really honeyed oatmeal. Like you just dumped like half a thing of wild, like organic raw wildflower honey into your bowl of oatmeal. Some white pepper, pear as well as apple. But there's some herbaceousness in here too. There's a little bit of of an oregano note, a sage note. I mean, this is such classic Speyside stuff. Like it's it just smells. It's so Speyside-y. Coffee cake as well. A little bit of cream soda. I mean, this is not. I mean, it doesn't smell like a extraordinarily challenging, profound malt or anything, but it just smells delicious. A little bit of citrus peel, orange peel in particular, but maybe like a hint of lemon oil in there. It's a good little balance of different characters. You got lots of fruit, confectionery stuff, cake. You got the herbs and the citrus in there too, just giving a little balance. Nice on the palate. Yeah, you ever have like a blended whiskey, like a Chivas, or also some of the upper level Dewar's, where the arrival is like really nice and fruity, and you're like, oh, this is great. Why don't I drink more of this? And then it just kind of falls apart in your mouth. This has that, oh, this is great moment, but it holds on. That is this is so fruity and well balanced and delicious and floral on the front end. And the front end is the event here. Like that is that big pow of delicious yum on the front end is like the strength of this. But like nothing about this is really letting it down. It's just a good consistent show all the way through. It's like one of those blockbusters that starts out with a really good set piece and it never quite reaches that level again, but you don't care because everything else is pretty solid and never really falls apart. That's what this is. I just get some notes on the table. Really kind of falls from the nose. Apple and pear cobbler. I was going to say pound cake, but no, it's really more like tea biscuits, shortbread, coffee cake again. But also like just straight up. There's a little bit of like a cup of coffee in here, like a just straight up. Give me some, decent Colombian, medium roast coffee in it, and that's kind of what I'm getting here. Honeyed oatmeal again, black pepper, a touch of black tea, Darjeeling tea, more honey, florals, but then it's got that little herbaceous thing again. Particularly leaning on oregano, not really getting the sage so much, but there is a little bit of fennel, which is nice. I'm just drinking this. This is delicious. And you do get some orange peel and some lemon peel, giving this a little brightness. This is delightful. It's not, as the notes probably indicate, it's not profound in any way. Like this is, the texture on this is good. It's not killing me. Development of this is very good. It's not, we're not getting into extraordinary territory here. Finish holds on pretty long. Mouth length is pretty good. Everything about this is hitting the right notes. Again, it's like a good blockbuster. You never may not make a lot of top 10 end of the year lists, but I'm it's putting a big old smile on my face. Yeah. like I know the Chivas folks are who owns Chivas? Is it Pernod Ricard? I think it's Pernod Ricard. They're never going to listen to me, but I think a lineup like this, just in bourbon casks, like do like a, I don't know, an 8 or 9 year old, a 12-year-old, and maybe like a 16-year-old. Oh my God, this would be great at 16. Put them out there. Not a lot of people will buy them, but the right, the nerds will appreciate what this is. Yum. I like that. But now the one I have never tried before. Dalmunach. Dalmunach is in Carron, which is way further south from this. It's not that far away from Craigellachie. I think it's just maybe 20, 30 minutes drive, something like that. This is not a single barrel. It's some kind of batch. They're not very specific, but it was distilled in 2018, bottled 2024. It is 6 years old. But it was first Fill Bourbon barrels, which is where I want a lot of my Speysiders to be. 642 bottles, so I'm guessing 3 barrels. Could have been two big ones, who knows. That is all I know. It's from Càrn Mòr, 47.5%, so they're giving you a little bit of extra proofy goodness in this. We're very close to the grain here. Extremely bubblegummy. I don't think I've ever had like a young Imperial before, so I can't really compare them, but Imperial could get weird. This is kind of its, I don't want to draw the comparisons. I'm just going to read this off of what I'm getting. Lots of bubble gum. Particularly double bubble in there, but there's also a little bit of like a fruity big lead chew in there, like a strawberry, like a little bit of strawberry big lead chew in there as well, like 10% mixed in with the double bubble. Also quite grainy. We're leaning more in a cream of wheat direction on this. Even just straight up like, I don't know, Central European porridge or something. I don't know why that comes to mind, but that, cinnamon, rose water. Oh yeah, there's like a Turkish delight thing in this. Cardamom. Some black tea. What kind of black tea? I'm gonna go Darjeeling again. White pepper. Like a little couple of blades of like dried grass, just a little touch. I'm looking for more florals, but we're really, going hard on that rosewater thing. That's really where the florals are. A little lemon peel. I think some Earl Grey tea, actually. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, on the nose at least, a more challenging distillate than the Miltonduff. This has some weirdness to it. There's a little quince in there, like a little bit of like baked quince. A little bit more of a challenge. There's something metallic as well, just like some rust. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better. Harder is not always better. The strawberry big lead chew is definitely coming into play on the palate. It had me in the first half, not gonna lie. This is a tricky one because the arrival on this, it's not that far away from the arrival in Miltonduff. It's a really good arrival. It's full of complexity and just fruity deliciousness, but then it kind of gets weird on the back end. It gets very slightly astringent and bitter. Hold on a second. Yeah, the front is nice. Oh. And then it kind of lands in like an ash and soap territory. It's not terrible, but it's not what I want in my finish. Let me try this one more time, and I'll give you some actual notes. But yeah, like that is the finish of this. It's you're enjoying what's going on, and then it just kind of closes right here on like, you know, hand soap and ash, and maybe some pepper. I do like the arrival though. It's like bubblegum and grass. Maybe not grass. Maybe that's what I'm tasting. I'm gonna go grass. I'm gonna go like a mix of fresh and dried grass on the arrival with the bubblegum, quince, some honey, a lot of graininess, cream of wheat. Strawberry gum, Earl Grey tea, white pepper, clove, little clove. The texture on this is pretty good. I mean, a lot about this for a 6-year-old is pretty good. It's just that finish is really bugging me. I'm really hoping it improves when I add a little bit of water to it. But, you know, we shall see. We shall see. Okay. So I'm going to give this like a squirt and a little bit extra. And let us move on to these two. Both of these are from the 100 proof Exceptional Cask series from Signatory, which has been, I think, Signatory's attempt to really push prices down on the independent bottling circuit, and God bless them for that. This Glenburgie, it's 15 years old. It's a 2008. Glenburgie, also part of the Chivas, I think it's Pernod empire. Glenburgie is in the town of Glenburgie. I think it's its own town, but it's in Moray. It's kind of further up north in Moray. And I tried an old Glenburgie in a little sampley bottle a couple of months ago and absolutely lost my mind for it. I loved that stuff. So let us see what this 15-year-old can do. Now this comes out of some first fill sherry butts, so that should affect things. Don't know if it's a re-racking or if it was, you know, matured there the entire time. No idea. Let's see what we got though. A lot of sherry cask. A lot of sherry cask. Yeah, so prunes, figs, black pepper, Swisher sweets, chocolate-covered dark fruit, I guess. Yeah, like chocolate-covered blueberries and blackberries. Let's go with that. Maybe some currants in there, too. I'm looking for the distillate. Glenburgie tends to be on the grungier side, and you kind of get that in the background of this. You do have a certain beef bouillon kind of thing going on, like leather soaked in beef bouillon. I'm guessing a part of that is the sherry cask, but I'm guessing Glenburgie is adding to some of that grunge. Come on. Oh, there we go. There's oatmeal again, but this time it's like it's a darker oatmeal. It's a nuttier oatmeal. Like you put like some serious forest honeydew honey into your oatmeal, along with like just half a cup of coffee or something. Dark. English breakfast tea. More black pepper. Baked apple cheese. I love it when I can use that note. Apple cheese. It's Lithuanian. Go look it up. And yeah, this is really... The sherry is running the show here. And maybe that's okay. Let's see what happens on the palate. Sherry bomb. This is a sherry bomb. That said, it's a very good one. I mean, sit me down and let me be my crotchety, old man self, and I will complain about, bottlings that really rely on the wood and don't let the distillate show itself and this and that and the other. But the fact of the matter is these things can be really yummy sometimes. And this is really yummy. Damn, that's good. Prunes, figs, raisins, leather soaked in beef broth, cardamom, cinnamon. Well, actually, cardamom, almost like a kheer thing, like a South Indian dessert kind of thing. Lots of black pepper. Did I mention black pepper? Black pepper, English breakfast tea. Chocolate orange. Also some blueberry, though. And a really impressive mouth presence and just development. Arrives quite, fruity and chocolatey and fruity and delicious. And then closes very dry and peppery and savory. Part of that is just the extra strength on this. This is 100 degrees British proof, which is 57.1% alcohol by volume. But I also just think they had some good cask to work with here. I'm looking for the distillate. Aside from the dark tea thing, maybe there's a little bit of a grainy touch, but it's hard to get a hold of. That kind of like forest honey oatmeal thing, maybe. Yeah, the Glenburgie is not speaking up very loudly in this, but it's good anyways. So to some extent, I'm philosophically against this, but it's also very good. Nice showing. Okay, let's give this some water. 2, 3, 4, might take 5. One half more. And last one, the Aultmore. Aultmore. This is the one from Dewar's, which is also known as Bacardi. Distillery outside of Keith. We should really do like a Glen Keith one of these days. I love Glen Keith. It's really hard to get a hold of, though. And it's another Signatory 100 proof exceptional cask thing. So, first fill Oloroso Butts. 17 years old, but distilled 2007. I think I wrote that down. Yeah, there we go. And this was the first of their series. Aultmore, the smallest of these distilleries, actually. It's only making about 2 million liters of alcohol a year, which is big by other standards, but not by the standards of big blend producers. I don't know. I've had a bunch of Aultmores in my life, including some officials, and I've generally thought they were good. And when I try to think back on what I was tasting, I can never... it's hard. Yeah, it tasted good. That's most of what I remember. All right, this is brighter than the Glenburgie. I mean, similar sherry vibe on this. You're still getting your figs, your prunes. There's some Swisher Sweets on this. But there's also some like bright honey notes. There's some like orange blossom honey happening. Oatmeal again, but it's a lighter oatmeal this time. It's like you sweetened it with like regular honey rather than your, honeydew honey. There's some like pear compote creeping in, a little bit of apple, some loose flowers. That's nice. Black tea again, but we're again kind of on the Darjeeling side of things. Tobacco. What kind of tobacco? It's a mix of like a sweet black Cavendish thing and a little bit of like a I don't know, like a Maduro leaf cigar thing. Not nice Maduro, like the less expensive Maduros, but nice. And certainly some like miscellaneous IHOP syrups. There's a syrupiness to this. Black pepper. I'm looking for more savory touches. Like, the kind of bouillon cubes kind of thing you sometimes get in sherry. I'm not really getting a lot. Like, it's mainly the pepper. Maybe some strong root beer, like a birch beer. Okay. Nice on the palate. This and the Glenburgie are a fun pair because they're kind of doing the same thing but putting the emphasis in slightly different places, and it changes the mood. This is, again, it tastes like brighter and maybe a little friendlier than the Glenburgie did. But it's still got the figs. We've still got the chocolate orange. Prunes, raisinets, orange peel, but then lots of different honeys. Orange blossom honey, even a little bit of manuka honey coming in. Lighter spring honeys, clover honey. Apple, like cooked apple, cooked pear. Oatmeal. That was a garbage truck, I think. Lots of black pepper. Tobaccos again, leaning more in a black Cavendish direction now. Big shot of espresso. But it's like almost Cuban espresso where you have a little bit of sugar in there. A little bit like that. Interesting. So in many ways, this is also a sherry bomb, but it's a sherry bomb where the character of the distillate is showing through more. So I should like this more. But I don't know if I do. I don't know if I think if this is better than the Glenburgie 15. It's a fun point of comparison. I'm going to add some water to this. I mean, very similar in certain respects. I feel like the Glenburgie might have actually more complexity to it, despite on its face showing its distillate a little bit less. A little bit more, just a touch. Okay. Let's go back through these. So on round 2 here, I have a clear loser, and I feel bad about it because it's the baby Dalmunach. The finish is just not making me happy. But these 3 are all actually very solid. So let us see if we can pick a winner here. Back to the Miltonduff. Ooh. What happened? So I added water to this. I am not getting peat on this. That's not peat. Am I getting peat on a Miltonduff? No way. No way. I am smelling the right glass, right? Jesus, okay. So yeah, my first... I am, honest to God, getting a little whiff of... I mean, some of it is peat. It's just a little whiff. But also there's like a whiff of like kind of vegetal herbs, almost like a sea breeze kind of character in here. I was not expecting that. Some vanilla too, almost like a vanilla fudge thing. I mean, the shortbread thing is still in here. This is completely changed. Tea leaves. Maybe I'm not getting peat. Maybe I'm just associating this kind of really almost maritime character. Maybe I'm associating that with peat. No, I think there is a little bit of peat in there. What the heck? Wow, okay. Hold on. No, it's the same whiskey. It's just there were things going on. That little hint of herbaceousness I was getting before has kind of blossomed into this whole thing and taken over the whiskey in a way that I'm really enjoying. No, it's there. It's there. It's just way in the background. Like coming out of the bottle, but it comes right to the surface with water on the palate. Don't get me wrong. This is not a Lafroig or anything. It really isn't. In fact, I will probably go to like the whiskey.com Scotch whiskey distillery profile, and they will say Milton Duff uses unpeated malt. But I swear to God, I'm getting peat on this. Peat, mixed herbs, florals, tea leaves, citrus peel. But then, in the background, you still have those desserty notes, the tea biscuits, the shortbread, vanilla, cream soda. This is good. Rocks minerality. The grainy oatmeal thing. Some fruit. I'm drinking this. Yeah, this is righteous. So Chivas, start putting Milton Duff out as a malt. Don't be fancy about it. Just do this. Just find some decent bourbon barrels and put them in a bottle and sell them. This is delicious. I'm not going to go crazy. I will go 86 plus on this. 86 plus for this very reasonably priced 12-year-old Milton Duff. Grab it if you see it. Wow. Okay. back to the Dalmunach. So this is one where I'm worried. If this cleans up the finish from where it was neat, we could have a winner here. If the finish gets worse, like, we're going to have some problems. On the nose, Dalmunach. It's so estery. It's so bubblegummy and like strawberry driven. It's, in some ways, this reminds me of Tormore, but it's so much. Tormore feels better behaved than this, or at least, well, I've had older Tormores, so maybe that's not fair. Yeah, it's bubblegum, it's gummy bears, it's all kinds of old candy, and some graininess behind that. That's what this smells like. But this did not have a problem with the nose. The nose is not the issue on the palate. Hot damn, the finish cleans itself up. It's still got a little bit of a bitter twinge on there. A little bit of a, like a, chewing on lemon pith thing. But it's a lot cleaner than it was. Yeah. Certainly not the best young malt I've ever had. So I'm sweating my ass off. I'm sorry. Great weather for tasting malt whiskey. Bubblegum. Strawberry bubblegum. Gummy bears. Pear. Apple. Grass. Tobaccos. It's the length where this is letting me down still a little bit. The weird soapy ashy thing has kind of resolved itself into more of like a lemon pith kind of thing, which is not bad. It's almost refreshing and mouthwatering. It's certainly not conventionally crushable, but there's character on this. But the length is still letting me down. All this is happening kind of in the front of my mouth. Nothing, no tonsil tickling at all here. And it fades a little bit quickly. Still good though. 83 plus would be a little bit. This is like an 83 plus 1. So, 83. So at 84, that's really an 83 plus 1, if that makes sense. 84 points for this Dalmunach. I really want to try an older version of this that has had more time to just kind of settle into itself. I mean, this feels like a malt, I get a little bit like Old Imperial, I guess, that just will absolutely shine once it gets to 14, 15, 16 years old. But even here, it's weird and, kind of fun. But add some water. It deserves it. Back to Glenburgie. This was probably my favorite going into the second round here. Let's see if it can hold on against the Milton Duff's extraordinary transformation on the nose. IHOP syrup. Yeah, it's just a very good sherry bomb is what this is. Maybe I'm thinking about this all wrong. Maybe it's, especially in comparison to the Aultmore, maybe I go looking for characteristics of Glenburgie and I'm disappointed when I don't find them, whereas what I should be looking for is the character of Glenburgie kind of propping up the sherry bomb character of this, because this is a damn fine sherry bomb. IHOP syrups, cough syrup, old leather, black pepper, exotic desserts. Yeah, this gets even more syrupy and desserty with water, and I'm kind of into it. On the palate. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about mouth presence and about development. There are a lot of sherry bombs out there, and they're all yummy. They all, not all of them, but a lot of them are yummy. They arrive very well. Big old hit of fruit and savory, peppery stuff up front. And you go, wow, this was totally worth my money. And then you go and you buy another sherry bomb or whatever. You have to pay attention to what they're doing. You have to stop asking just about the big initial pow, wham, punch in the teeth that they're at. You have to start asking about, how is this developing as it travels through my mouth? How is it hanging on there? How far back is it reaching? This has got mouth presence. This is hitting my tonsils, giving them a good throttling, and I appreciate that. This is hanging on. Well after like the initial attack of sherry deliciousness. This is really showing impressive texture. Although if there's any aspect of the mouth presence here that you could pick on a little bit, maybe it's the mouthfeel. Oh, I want to make some mouthfeel jokes, but I won't. I will resist. Yeah. Really hasn't developed a whole lot in terms of notes from where it was before, even in terms of presence. Like this had tremendous mouth presence before, pretty good development as well, and it still does. Like, it's still measuring up. Fabulous. Just, it's on the darker side of sherry bombs. This is, dark, grungy stuff. But it's a really good one. I will give this... What will I give this? We're in the high 80s, not 90s. I'm stuck between an 88 and an 89. I'm going to give this an 89. Screw it. This is very, very good. 89 points for this here Glenburgie 15-year-old. I think this is fabulous. I'm questioning myself. Because I'm scoring this higher than Lafroy cast strength. No, it's totally there. It's absolutely there. It's got complexity. It's got mouth presence. It's got a big old punch. Yeah, no, it's kind of the full package. There you go. They have bottled it. Will you buy it? Moving on to the Aultmore. Let us see what this has done. Let us see if it can match up against the onslaught that is the Glenburgie. Jeez, I've only scored like 2 Glenburgies, and they're both really high. Wow. I need... Something's going on. Aultmore. It's so much more high-toned. It's still doing the IHOP syrup thing. I'm guessing they used very similar casks for this. But you're getting so much more florals, bright honeys, white peppers. Development from before, it gets a little bit more peppery, maybe a little bit more floral, but otherwise very similar on the palate. Again, the development is mainly from where it was before, was mainly in terms of more pepper and more florals on the palate. And that's fine, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not catching the Glenburgie. It's just not quite there. Maybe some caramel on the initial arrival now. Lots of honey, lots of fruit. Grainy, but then you have the floral stuff. And again, it feels like I'm getting more of the distillate with this than with the Glenburgie. But I go looking for the same kind of mouth presence, the same kind of complexity. I don't know if I'm getting it. It's still a very good cherry bomb, though. And it's one that in some ways is showing more of the distillate. That kind of the fruity, floral, honeyed character of Aultmore than the Glenburgie is, at least overtly. But it's not beating it. It's not beating it. 88 points. 88 points for this 17-year-old Aultmore from the Signatory folks. And yeah, there you have it. In DFL place, but it's kind of probably what you expected. The Dalmunach. It's 6 years old. It feels like it's in an awkward place, and if they left it in the same damn barrel for another 4, 6, 8 years, it would be killing it. Dalmunach from Càrn Mòr, 84 points, which is really like an 83 plus 1. Water's mandatory for this. It really fixes the finish a lot. Next up, the Miltonduff 2009 from the Ultimate. Very reasonably priced, by the way. 86 plus. This is a little bit of a changeling, actually. I mean, it's so fruity and cakey and happy when you first encounter it, with just a little, hint of herbaceous weirdness going on, kind of in the background, adding color. And then the herbaceous weirdness just totally takes over when you add some water. This is really fun. I like this a lot. Chivas, go make this a single malt. 86 plus. Then Aultmore, which already, I guess, has its own series, even though no one cares. 88 points. And your winner, it's the Glenburgie, 15-year-old from Signatory. Glenburgie is phenomenal. I keep throwing this malt high scores. Clearly, I need to buy more. 89 points. And there you are. That's the video. Thanks for watching, and cheers.